Hello, CDO, CIO. Here we go. It's a brand new week and a brand new episode of Department in Focus right here at Cagayan de Oro City Information Facebook page and over at Strong Radio. So maayong buntag sa tanan natong mga tigpaminaw. All the informations and update is brought to you under the leadership of City Mayor Lando Clarix Uy with the support of our City Information Officers Jade Adicer and Ian Fuentes. It's a brand new day. Mga higala, kamusta man mo? And I think also atong welcome karon ang nagbabalik sa ato ang studio live na live right now. By the way, sa mga tigpaminaw nato sa radyo, good morning og labi na pod sa mga nananaw over our live stream. Feel free to comment down below ang inyong mga concerns, yung mga pangutana kay kauban nato karon ang ato ang City Psychologist, City Psychologist and CSWD head sa Psychosocial Division. We got RIO ROSAL Baliling. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Ma'am Jane. Thank you for having me here again, no? And good morning sa ato ang mga radio listeners and sa akong mga fellow Cagayanans.
Diba? Medyo refreshing kayo paminawan karon mga higala because ang ato ang guest karon, no? Kay she was just a newly registered psychologist. Yan, congratulations!
Yes. Thank you kaayo. Baguhan pa kog paminaw sa
diba? City
introduction.
Psychologist.
But I'm very grateful that nakapasar gyud gitugot sa ato ang Ginoo nga makapasar o makuha na to ang lisensya.
Diba? License. So, parang kailan lang? Last visit, ako lang ipa-recall ato ang mga higala na last visit. Diba pa? And of course, happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much.
Belated happy birthday to none less than City Psychologist, mga higala, Miss Rio Rosal Baliling. Of course, October 3, she celebrated her birthday.
Yes. Thank you kaayo, Ma'am Jane. Thank you sa ato ang CIO team, no? And again, thank you kaayo sa ato ang libang makagagahom for giving me a very meaningful birthday gift today. Aside from good health, no, is ang licensure nga nakuha gid siya.
Wow.
So salamat gid kaayo.
I think you had the best gift, you know, the license psychologist.
Yes.
Yan. And from the City Information Office, we wish you more birthdays to come.
Thank you. Thank you
I'm
so
sure
much.
nga super enjoy gid kayong birthday and for sure you're so blessed right now. And
Yes.
you've mentioned about health, no, and karon pod mga higala for this month, I think daghan pod kaayo ta gina-celebrate because aside from celebrating the Pink October with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this month also is the World Mental Health Month. Yan. So we are so excited ta nga nanapod tay mahibawan about mental health, most especially sab kung sa ang mga plans, mga programs ani nga hatod sa ato ang city, most especially sa CSWD Psychosocial Unit. But before that, of course, ato sang kamustahon si Miss Rio. So how are you so far this week, especially mga lakaw ninyo with the Psychosocial Unit?
Yes, no, kay last month we had the Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So we kept on, no, the services kept rolling. No, we kept on delivering the services. And karon pod, we are also apart from our usual services, naapod tayo mga activities prepared for the World Mental Health Month nga celebration because from suicide prevention, so atin na din tayo in general with mental health good.
Diba? So congrats tayo, by the way, kay back-to-back po yung mga events. So last month lang with the Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, September karon with the World Mental Health na po na Awareness Month. So grabe, walang, no one's stopping.
Yeah.
Dire-diretso ang mga serbisyo para sa inyo mga higala. And of course, for sure, excited na itong mga higala to talk about the mental health. But of course, karon, pwede ba nato enlighten na itong mga higala about mental health?
So ang mental health is one of the very misunderstood nga kaning burag hisgutan because for some when you talk about mental health diretso na din sila associate it with illnesses or kanang mga negative connotations, but mental health is kung ato pa siyang i-Bisaya, no, it's kahimsog sa pangisip, so it refers to our emotional, psychological and social well-being. So it's not really the absence of uncomfortable emotions, no. It affects how we think, feel, and behave, and how we handle stress. So just like physical health, important ang mental health in every stage of her life. So dili ni siya pang dagko lang because for some there was a time no sa ato ang syudad wherein daghan pud cases of kaning mental health concerns sa younger age because no one is exempted from that mangyud no. So having good mental health does not necessarily mean the absence of kaning uncomfortable emotions like feeling sad, angry, or feeling anxious, but having good mental health is that you're able to cope with life's challenges. Because challenges and these emotions, di ba nato siya matawag na negative emotions? Because these emotions are also necessary. So, man siya nga matawag siya nga uncomfortable, no? We cry, we get angry, we get anxious. So, if we are experiencing those emotions, at least we are able to cope with that, no? So, parehas sa physical health, ang ato ang mental health, I hope, no, what I really want to raise awareness with is that take it similar sa physical health.
Yes.
So, kung ang tao naa sa medyo sad nga kahimtang karon, let's take it as someone nga gihilantan. No, kung gihilantan ang tao, how will we approach them? Ingon bata nga, sala mo gud pud na nimo. Smile lang na, di ba dili? So we encourage them to take medicine, to rest, to go to a doctor. So nga nagihapon ang sa mental health, when you see someone struggling, then we should approach them with compassion. Kaya nagsakit man pod sila.
Diba? So, I like it na, or I appreciate it na ato ang gi-weigh as balance ang physical health sa mental health.
Yes.
Kay, diba? Kay, if you notice mga igala, when it comes to our physical health, intentional kaayo ta, diba nga? Gusto nato muniwang, asa ato ang i-target, diba nga? Magpa-abs ko karon or magpa-shoulders karon. So, I hope it's the same intentions as well sa ato ang mental health, diba? Kay, again, I think, mas ma-effort lang siguro siya Miss Rio, no? Most especially daghang factors i-consider, like you mentioned kanina, itong mga uncomfortable nga mga emotions. So, speaking of kini nga mga emotion and medyo bugat sa itong coping up with life, no? Kaya murag, dagan kay gakahitabo. Ang daming nangyayari sa life natin ngayon. And I think ang pag-cope up, murag, dili gyud pod lalim, diba? Murag, dapat intentional sad ka when you cope up kay. At least kung with it comes sa atong physical health, whether ito mag-jogging, dali ra gyud na to ma-identify, pero mo lang gyud ni ang challenging when it comes to our mental health mga higala, which later on at least matabangan ta ni Miss Rio on how to understand and of course how to overcome. So, aside from the uncomfortable nga kining mga uncomfortable na mga feelings, ng mga situations, ngano mo arise man na siya, Miss Rio, for a person ba?
Well, daghan gyud kay ni siya factors no. When someone asked me ngano ang usa ka tao, what happens no nga moabot mo gid sa point nga mag-struggle sa mental health, daghan gid na siya klase-klase nga rason no. So ang kani siya mo decline ang ato ang mental health when we are no longer able to bounce back or kanang nag-deteriorate ang ato ang daily living, no? Sometimes kay ni mo trabaho, ataas na ang absenteeism. So daghan gyud factors why moabot ang tao sa mental health nga struggle. Ang like gina-ask gali ko kung kanasa mo ang data lang, no? Unsa ang common reasons? So maybe we can discuss the common reasons. No, it's usually kung saan mo ang data lang is financial. Apil gid na siya.
Number one yun, no?
Yes, no, sa gid siya.
Financial.
Yes, and then relationship, family problems, experiences of trauma and abuse, and kato financial pa. And sometimes ang daming nangyayari, no? It's a mixture of everything. That's why ga-decline gyud ang ilahang mental health.
Yan. So later on we'll discuss katong mga atong asa gyud focus ning mga pag-decline sa mental health and unsa ang mga signs and ang mga risk factors. So, we'll discuss that later, Magela. But for the meantime, since we're celebrating the World Mental Health Month, so for sure na yung mga efforts nato, no?
Yes.
Most especially with the psychosocial unit. So, ganina, atong gi-flash ang ato ang mental helpline. So, ato ang gi-launch, ato ang mental helpline, mga higala. It's 24/7 CSWD mental helpline. So, can you tell us why nga, how important it is nga naatay 24/7 nga helpline?
Yes, no. I'm really proud about this kani ato ang program, no, ang 24/7 mental helpline, the service that we provide non-stop, no, 24/7, because important mong good kaayo nga when you are at the peak of your emotion, naa kay matawagan. For some, they have murag medyo wala kay sila ma-identify nga support sa external, no, like sa family, friends. So for some, they feel alone, and that's what we really want to highlight, that when you feel alone, we want them to remember that they're not alone because they can call us. So pwede kaayo sila motawag ani 24/7. Last September, isa pa ang ato ang number nga gi-flash sa screen. So karon naa na pud tay TM number, no, courtesy of Counselor Gigigo.
Wow.
So iya gitang gihatagan immediately og kaning cellphone and number, because makita man gid pod ang challenges pod, no, when someone calls us and then apa me another call. So sa pod, I would like to ask for the understanding of the public sometimes, no, pag manawag sila and then we are on a call. So rest assured nga mo contact gid me ana diretso right after if ever man lang ma-miss ang call. Yes,
of course, no. Okay. As much as possible at imanon mong yun ang tanan. But syempre, as what gi-mention ni Miss Rio nga, napagyapoy kamulong tawag, diba? But the important thing is, I think it's a good indication nga naay gapanawag. Diba? Gapusot-pusot ang calls. It means the helpline is effective and kailangan yun sa ato ang mga higalan. So, what are the common nga mga inyong gakadawatan na calls lately, Ms. Rio?
Usually magyud distressed individual. So for some people, not necessarily na a diagnosis or na ay mental health illness gid. For some, they are just distressed, or not just, they are distressed and they need someone to talk to. So mo ni siya nga important gid kaayo ang helpline, because there is someone who will answer the call. There is help on the other end, no, sa other line, nga maka-help at least process your emotions. Because for someone, we ask for feedback. Moingon magid sila, orang uban gali, they reach us out after, no, after pila ka mga days, and then they thank us because naa daw nakatubag or nakapaminaw sa iya at the time that they need someone to talk to. Kaya ang uban, they just need nga naay mapahungawan.
Correct.
So important gyud kaayo nga ato ani siyang ma-share. If we have no one to talk to about this, kay for some, they have a lot of friends, their family is intact or healthy ang ilahang relationship with the family, but they don't want to burden other people with their problems. So muna nga they feel alone. But then pag manawag sila, at least we might not solve their problem, but at least we are there to listen.
Diba? At least na at ease gamay ang ilahang mga kabug-aton nga gi-feel at that time. So, para sa itong mga higala nga nananaw sa live, you can screenshot our numbers. But for those nga mga higala na ito nga naminaw sa radyo, amo ang i-dictate ang numbers, no? So, we got two helplines. So, 0970-039-2709. And the other number is 0975-608-7522. And in case pwede nila ma-check ang Facebook page.
Yes.
Yan. So,
yes, kaya uban, no, sometimes they reach us out through Facebook.
Pwede
so naapoy mag-chat good because they're not comfortable with talking through the phone, or they're not comfortable nga moadto sa amo walk-in. So ang uban ga-chat sila. So maka-reach ta sa ato ang Facebook page, CSWD CDO Psychosocial. So diha pwede kita mo message anytime. So just like our kaning atong mga contact numbers nga gi-flash sa screen and gi-dictate ganiha 24/7 gihapon ang ato ang chat line.
Wow, grabe na mga efforts, no, para magatod gyud og serbisyo sa inyo mga higala. And again, it's 24/7. And we
It's
appreciated
free.
na utilize good ang, the digitalization, 'di ba? And of course, the convenience pod para sa those who need the helpline, 'di ba? So thank you so much. Kudos to CSW Psychosocial Unit for that effort, no? Very helpful gid kaayo. And aside from that, dili lang limitado sa mga helplines ang gibuhat pod sa ato ang Psychosocial Unit, but because as we recall, we have one of the most unfortunate event nga nahitabo karon sa CDO ang katong dako kay nga sunog sa Barangay 17, in which the psychosocial unit held psychological first aid.
Yes.
So actually, it's my first time nga madunggan nga in a respond na ay psychological first aid. So unsa man na siya nga concept pod or unsa ang ginabuhat ninyo ana?
Ang psychological first aid is part niya siya sa services sa psychosocial unit, especially this is part of our disaster response. So kung ang ato ang syudad naghatag sa ilaha og assistance, no, kaning
Mga
tulong, relief goods, that is to address the physiological need, which is very important, no, ang ilahang basic needs. Now, the rule namo for psychological first aid is that within 72 hours from the disaster, mo visit me sa evacuation site kung asa dito ang mga survivors na to check on them. So nga naman 72 hours because during that time, we cannot provide PFA or kana makig-istorya when they are still busy pagpamalhin. So muna nga dapat good first is ma-attend ang ilahang basic needs. And ang gihatag first thing sa ato ang syudad, no, ang relief. Gipaplastar sa sila, they put up tents, they feel like naa sila space. And then after that, muadto dayon mi sa area to check on them, kumusta man pud sila, naabay mga kaning distress symptoms nga nakitaan, especially to children.
Correct.
So makita nato na sila sumangutan mi sa parents, kumusta atong mga anak. So very common nilang itubag maghilak, makulbaan kung naay makakitag aso because in the case of fire, no, nga na siya usually. And ang mga adults pud, because adults are very busy kaning pag-facilitate sa ilahang mga sila makapangita og tabang or kaning sa ilahang maghuna-huna sa ilahang mga anak, sa pamilya. So sometimes they don't have the mental space to talk about their emotions.
Correct.
But when we do the session, they open up, no, mustorya sila mo ni ilang gibati. So the PFA is just to help them process their emotions. Dili gid siya matawag na counseling or therapy, but at least we are there to help them process the distress that they feel if they have one. Usa gid siya. And then we link, if makita nato nga we leave them with numbers, infographics kay para ilahang basa-basahon, and then naay numbers ana for the helpline if they want to talk further about their emotions, acknowledging limitado pod ang ilaha pang murag mental space and even the space in general to elaborate their feelings.
So, it's so, muna to ang na-appreciate gid kayo kay, imagine, diba, kay, of course, we do expect the reliefs, the in-kind donations, pero kini mong good klase nga tabang, it's something very effort pud kaayo on your part. Kay, of course, after 72 hours, so diba? So, it's really heartwarming pud at the same time, kay it's not the usual tabang nga ilangang i-expect, diba? Kay kinsabay ang, and I think it's perfect rapod kay syempre, wala man sa sila ilain may istorya, most especially nga, daghan sa ilahapod. Dili man sa pwede nga, ang ilaha pong kapwa nga nasunugan ng makuan, diba? So, I think that's a really nice move for the psychosocial
And if mo adto mi didto, we introduce ourselves. CSW usually ma-associate sa relief. So we inform them. We're very transparent na we are not the team giving relief, relief assistance, ingana. But we are here para mangumusta sa inyo kung unsa inyong gibati, especially karon nga nakaagi kita og usa ka disaster. So when they tell us nga nakulbaan ko, di ko katulog. So we assure them that these are normal reactions to an abnormal situation. Something happened.
Correct.
So it would be unusual if you're smiling while kasunog, no? So, although we have we are resilient, but we have to acknowledge also their emotions. Karon nahadlok sila, nakulbaan. So, we validate their feelings and we tell them that unsa ang obserbaran, no? Self-care tips and resource good. We link them to resources also.
Correct. Kaya nabete, usahay ang instinct biya gyud like the normal instinct sa mata. Diba? Muna lang ginatawag na napaka sa adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Diba? And then right after nga makalma ka, ayaw pa din mo sink in.
Yes.
Tinuod ba na? Tinuod na nga concept ni Sir. Okay,
Yes.
muna kung gakadunggan, gakahibawaan nga para sa uban ba. I think it's nice that it's coming from you good as a professional. No? Okay, mo binay lang ginaingon nga later pa na mo sink in.
Yes.
Oh.
We hear that very common sa mga survivors. During disasters, you are very heightened kaayo ang imong survival ana nga instincts. So you really makaalsa na og bugas.
Yes.
Very ang imong yung goal ana is for survival. So you wanna reach to a place of safety first. And then wala na nimo man ang uban, wala na sila nadala, wala na sila kauna-unaon sa ilahang mga important documents because the very important thing is survival. Now, after, pag na-plastar na, diha na dayon batiun og mga pamaol, kakapoy, and then they see, afterwards, balikan nila ang ilahang balay, no? And that's when the emotion will come. Diha na dayon ta bahaon sa ato ang mga emotions. Kay, nakita na gid nila nga we lost everything. We lost our house. So diha na dayon ta. We really listen to them because that's what we can really do. No, i-validate nato sila and to at least guide them with their emotions and to foster hope sa pod siya. So we ask them what's their plan para pod they may not see it, but then if we tell them na atay plano, no, so at least ila man ang ipakita ang sa ilahang mga what they are, at least I'm thankful ma'am kaya at least buhi ni. So we validate their emotions.
Pero at least dito na to nakita ang essence po of responding 72 hours after, diba? So aside from of course the first aid na mga responses nato with the psychological first aid, dapat yung mga trainings na gipahigayon sa schools and offices. So this time unsa man pud ang approach ani?
Kay another service na gina-offer sa MOA is ang psychoeducation. So, mo ni siya ang team nga ga-provide og campaigns and mental health awareness sa communities, sa schools, and sa kaning mga other nga agencies. So, we are partnering or coordinating yun constantly with schools to capacitate teachers, focals, designates, and even parents para sa mental health awareness. And we train them also with at least a psychological first aid because ng psychological first aid, as long as you are trained, as long as you know the concepts, the principles, you can do it. No, especially kay ang psychological first aid, parehara na siya sa medical first aid. No? If you know, kabalo ka mo first aid while waiting for the professional, at least na-alleviate nimo ang iyang distress. Or katong imuhang natambalan ang samad. So, ingana siya while waiting for the professional. So, that's what we are partnering good with schools and even with other agencies. Uban, mga private institutions, so their HRs mo ang ga-initiate, ana.
Diba? So it is a form of like lectures, mga seminar and series of activities nga ma-enhance ang mga skills, no? And it's nice, no, nga it's nice nga it's something nga dali ra matudlo. It's not something nga dapat like a course gyud bitaw sa school. So I think mas daghan pod ang maka-help, diba, sa uban through the lectures, sa mga trainings nga inyong ginapahigayon sa school and offices. And by the way, ato lang pong ipang shout out ang atong mga higala who's watching us over sa atong live stream. Hello kang Christian Van. Ayan, gikan siya sa watching from PN Roa High School. Hello. Og syempre kang Cheryl Del Puerto o ganina no kauban nato diri sa studio ang ato ang spokesperson of the of Chief Executive City Mayor Lando Clark, so si Spokes John Boy Acto. Thank you so much. Hello, supportive kay gusto gyud niya lantawon diri live si Miss Rio. Oga, of course, ang ato ang team, very supportive, our writer Nika Borja, Sir Darwin and Sir Rod. Hello sa inyo. And of course, aside from the efforts ato ang psychosocial unit of CSWD nga, grabe gyud, halos ginatumbling na gyud ang tanan para ma-deliver gyud ang angay para sa mga higala. But of course, naputay supportive kaayo nga mayor and city government who's always at the backbone sa tanan na ninyong mga movements no and programs. Ay kung isa na diha ang bag-o lang nga na-launch na executive order for mental health board. Yan. So, congratulations. And atong last nato na nga gihisgutan, wala pa tong perma ni Mayor. And finally karon naa na gyud lagdaan na gyud ni City Mayor Rolando Clarix. So from the moment you learn nga naa na gipermana ni Mayor, so kamusta imong feeling adto Miss Rio?
Very thankful, no? Again, yes, kaning actually atong 24/7 mental helpline is because namugna ni siya because of the support of Mayor Rolando Clarix. Kay before man gud 8 to 5 pa ang ato ang hotline, and then nakita gyud ni Mayor ang need no to extend it 24/7 because again dili lang man working hours no mangayo og tabang, so it needs to be 24/7. And karon ang ato very thankful gyud kay gipermahan ni Mayor Rolando Clarix ang amendment sa ato ang executive order number 260A, which is ang kaning para reconstitute na ang Cagayan de Oro Mental Health Board. So this one, what's being flashed to screen is also naapa ni siya amendment because of the adjustments sa roles of and delegations of people. But we are moving forward.
Yes. I think that's the highlight, the important part. It's there already.
Yes,
diba?
and very thankful because if we have the legislation supporting us, we have the entire city government and our city leaders are really supporting us. Mo na siya na when we feel the support, and then mas implement gid ta sa ato ang programs because we are being supported by the city. So last August 20, we had a joint meeting and special report care of Councilor John Rodriguez, wherein we discussed what are the unsa man ang sitwasyon sa mental health based on our data sa atong syudad. So these are attended by various stakeholders from different offices. So diha nakakuha ta og suporta from our city council, no? And then after that, by around September, mao na din to ang ato ang EO na permahan na gyud ilahan na gyud napalihok because also para pod mas further na nato og implement ang ato ang programs. And then very hopeful for the future gyud because of this.
Yan. So thank you so much to the support of our City Mayor Rolando Clarix. Inubanan sab sa atong mga aktibo kaayo nga mga city councilors and truly looking into sa mga details and sa mga concerns, most especially concerning to CSWD psychosocial unit. And aside from that, of course, ato ang request also for additional budget. Ayan. So I think it's on the works already. And sooner or later, pag next balik ni Miss Rio, for sure, dagan updates with regards to that, no? O uban pa yung mga programa. And aside from the support of our city mayor, ang city vice mayor po na si Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, ang iyang plano nga paghatag og CSWD psychosocial nga vehicle division, psychosocial division nga vehicle. So, how would this help the unit sa mga functions ninyo, Ms. Rio?
Yes, we are very blessed, good, and thankful for all the support and opportunity nga gakahatag no sa ato ang unit because everything, all the support that we get magamit gid siya for service delivery. Now, pagka dungog namo no si Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez will be donating a vehicle for the unit we're very thankful because magamit magud na mo siya for runs. Right now, we are very thankful to the CDRRMO because of our partnership. In case nga kanang na ay mga need adtuan on-site, we really ask for their help for transportation. But karon, moving forward, no, if dako kayo gyud og tabang ang vehicle because maatuan na mo diretso ang client in need, especially kanang naa sa lagyo manawag sa amua.
Yan. So thank you so much again to the support of our city leaders para sa CSWD Psychosocial Unit or Psychosocial Division, and makahappy kaayo knowing there's so much to anticipate, daghang support tagakakuha kay again it's really needed po most especially now that it's the mental health month, no, and hoping yun nga ma-push through ni tanan, no? And basin sa sunod pagbalik, ma-feature na nato, ma-flash na nato sa screen ang vehicle, diba? So, dili madugay na ang nagyud na mga higala, no? Para mas paspas, mas efficient ang pagserbisyo gyud. And, of course, you've mentioned earlier nga, usapod sa mga city councilors, shout out kang Konsehala Gigi Go. Ayan, ang iPhone 17. ang brand new phone. Joke lang to, iPhone 17 ha.
iPhone.
Yan.
Yes, very thankful gid kaayo sa atong city leaders, no, kang Mayor Rolando Clarix Uy, Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, sa ato ang mga city councilors because all of them really are have listened to us, no, pag when we tell them about this, they really reply what we can do, how can we help, no. And mo ni siya ang result of their help, no, their support. Nakakuha ta kang Councilor Gigi Go, she donated a mobile phone. Wow. And a SIM card para sa additional sa ato ang helpline. And she also helped us. She linked us to other possible partners for the provision of hopefully mobile phones pa. So we're really very thankful because ang ato ang cellphone, ang kaning numbers, mo gini siya ang ato ang primary means of reaching out sa ato ang mga callers or sa ato ang mga clients nga ga-reach out. And then si Vice Mayor dayon sa Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez sa ato ang vehicle. So dako gid kaayo mi og pasalamat ana, and ongoing na si Councilor John Rodriguez is very advocate sa mental health.
Yes.
And he even proposed a resolution, no, encouraging the barangays to delegate duha ka mga psychosocial focal.
Yes.
No, that is for the mental health corners. So in relation to this, by November also we will be capacitating and training the focals na ma-delegate sa ato ang barangays.
Yes.
And also ang ato ang chairperson on Committee on Health and Health Insurance, si Councilor Paulo Nicologaani, very active gihapon siya sa paghatag og support sa ato. So in general gid, no, ang ato yung entire city council, because we have also been attended by various members of the city council sa ato ang past nga last September sa ato ang Walk for a Cause.
Diba? Present na present.
Yes.
And we like that nga, same vibe, same energy, same aggressive ang mga approach sa ato ang mga leaders, no, when it comes to our mental health. And actually, gi-mention na yesterday as we have here sa ang inyong konseho karon ni City Councilor John Rodriguez. So he really emphasized nga gusto gina niyang matag barangay aduna gyud mental health corner. So I think maglayo mapatuman na gyud nato na, no, and very helpful gyud na for sure sa matag barangay nato here sa Cagayan de Oro City. And again, mga higala, this month is the mental health Awareness Month. So let's talk about it, no? So karon unsa man ang mga indications, Miss Rio, na you've mentioned earlier to mga factors, no, about nga mo decline. So that's how we call it pala, mo decline ang mental health. So karon unsa man ang angay buhaton kung ang sa katao kailangan og suporta or nag-decline ang iyahang mental health?
usa gid ana is ang ato ang bantayan changes in behavior, unusual changes in behavior. So when you see someone suddenly withdrawal from family, friends, or usual activities. So kung kani siya mahilig manghinabi or mo-socialize and then suddenly nag-isolate, maybe that is a warning sign. Suddenly, dili na, usual activities sa una kay trabaho or ganahan man ni siya mag-jog or makig-uban sa higala pero karon nag-isolate, wala na nakig-uban. Changes in sleep, appetite, or energy levels. Sabot pasabot ani
Hala, ang energy level.
Wala na social battery, pwede na siya low bat. Or changes in sleep, it's either too much nga katulog or dili ga katulog at all. Appetite, too much eating, or starving yourself, dili na pod gakaon. Changes ani not unless nag-diet siya, no? Pero if you see nga kanang dili na gid siya mukaon because no appetite to eat at all because preoccupied na sa problems. Energy levels very low ang energy, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, irritability, no, kaning changes pud ni siya sa iyang emotional reaction. Irritable sa una kay pag imuhang jokan mo katawa or masabay, then suddenly nasuko siya, then maybe that is a warning sign. Mag-express og feelings of hopelessness, ambot ba oy kapoy naman kaayo, wala na gid siguro ni pag-asa, and then you respond, ka over ba kayo nimo buntag pa, no? So we really have to be very mindful with how we respond also, because our responses could really make or break a person, no? It could make them feel like they're being listened to or they are invalidated. Next is dili na maka-atiman or murag nag-decline na ang pag-atiman sa kaugalingon. Even no, it may sound very exaggerated, pero ang uban bisag ultimo pagkaligo dili na mabuhat, ultimo pag-ilis dili na mabuhat, or pagpanudlay. So neglect of personal care because they are very preoccupied with their emotional, their problems, no, usa siya. And then expressions of worthlessness or suicidal thoughts. So ang uban mo express na gid nga ambot ba mas maayo man siguro nga mawala na lang ko aning kalibutan na. So pag makadungog gid ta na, we really have to be careful with our words. Kaya ang uban ipaagi man og komedya, paagi og yaga-yaga just to lighten the mood, but maybe that's not really how we should do it.
Ayan. So, ang mental health ba, na ba niya siya level-level? Like, level 1, ano mga, unsa may i-take note for someone nga murag, sobra na lagi ni, murag kailangan na gid ni. So, unsa man ang mga risk factor or angay nga mga indications that would tell a person or manotice sa usa ka tawo nga, I think kailangan na ka mag, diba? So, ano?
Yeah. Ang mental health is a continuum, no? It's a spectrum. So, dili ni siya matawag nga, low mental health, high, high level. It's really a spectrum because sometimes naata diri, no, sa ata sa tunga when we feel distressed but we are still able to bounce back. Ang warning sign gid diha kay naa ka diri, you are in emotional distress, and then pag check dayon dili na nimo kaya on your own to bounce back with your problems. Dili na kanina ang mga indications nga nag-decline na ang mental health, nakita na, then maybe you really have to ask for help, or you have to encourage someone nga obserbaran nato ani to ask for help. Atong istoryahon, but if dili nato kaya on our level, we really have to refer, because they may not see it now, the need. Kang uban, very kanang close na ilahang mind nga dili nako mangayo og tabang, diri ra niya, okay ra ko, but then eventually they will at least kabalo sila nga naay someone who is willing to help them, or willing to kanang ubanan sila sa professional, no? Ga-care sa ilaha.
Diba? So it really starts from ourselves, no? Yes. So it's a nice reminder, mga higala. It's a very important reminder, gid mga higala nga, kung dili na nimo kaya, matud pa sige mention ni Miss Riono nga, if you really, dili nimo kaya nga, mo bounce back nga sa imong kaugalingon, I think, pwede gid kaayo. Pwede kayo ka mag-call a friend, mag-call the helpline, diba? And I hope nga we are reminded karon mga higala of taking care of ourselves, and we have somebody nga pwede na to mastorya. We have the CSWD Psychosocial Unit nga pwede ninyong matawagan, and of of course, tabangan na to ang self, no, nga, kabalo magyuta kung unsa na pud ka, challenging karon, Miss Rio. And, syempre, how would you tell someone, like, most especially our family members, atong mga friends, or atong mga office mate man, or kauban na to everyday. So, unsa man imuhang mga reminder sa ilaha pod?
We really have to be careful with our approach with them, especially if we know that they are in distress. So, first is reach out with empathy. Ato silang duulon, no? I noticed that murag nag-isolate na kadili na kay kaganahan makig-istorya. Can you tell me what's happening? Na naaraman ko diri. I'm willing to listen. Ang ato agid ana, ang ato ang inistoryahan, very dako gid kaayo na siya og factor na ma-deliver nato siya in a manner nga dili siya accusing, dili siya invalidating o di siya bullying or kaning yaga-yaga. No, at least makita gid nila nga seryoso gid ay siya nga nangumusta sa ako. Seryoso ba kanang usually gid ang uban nga okay ra man ko, so okay pas all right, man gid nila mga tubag. But that is our default answer when someone asks us kumusta. No, but then unsa man ang okay, bitaw kung unsa imuhang giagian diha istoryahi ko hanaara mo ko diri makigubananti ka. So dako kay na nga factor nga makita nila we really have to be serious about how we deliver our message. No, kaya makita na seryoso gid ay siya, willing siya maminaw nako. Encourage professional help. While we encourage to people to open up to their support system or makig-socialize, no? But then if dili na kaya, seek professional help. Kaya diha mas matabangan gid ka sa usa ka professional to process your emotions. And then stay connected. Sa manambut pasabot ani, no? Katong first gid nato nga indication ganiya is social isolation or withdrawal. So at least we try to stay connected with them. Kumusta man ka? O laag ta, ato silang kumustahon. Sige, muana ko diya sa inyong balay, no? Para ma-feel gid nila nga dili dito storya lang iyang giingon.
Yes.
No? Na makita gyud through actions and consistency nga anaa gid ay willing gid ay siya maminaw nako nag-care gid siya. No, even us no sa ato alang bisag we don't really have personal distress at the moment, but we appreciate people nga mangumusta sa ato. What else katong naagi ginaagian? That's really a big thing for them. And then next is avoid dismissing their feelings. So pag naay mo share nga nag-uulagi ko karon oy unsa man kakagwapa nimo dagwartahan pud jud kay depressed nga na ang
diba?
I hear this from feedback from people, and then that is a way, although ang ilang intention ana I'm sure is really good. No, they want to lighten the mood, they want to encourage them, but sometimes it can be dismissive manggod. Pagingana nga, sus kagwapa nimo, anong mag-uul man ka diha. So we at least listen to them, balik ta, so reach out with empathy. So ang uban moingon nga gusto nako mawala ang kalibutan na, so they try to preach or they try to joke and laugh it out. So dili lang nato ingana ang ato ang pag-istorya, no. We encourage them to talk about it. So mao ba unsa man di ay ang ato ang imong kabati karon. So listen to them. Don't dili nato ipaira lang ato ang mga personal biases and personal principles kay ilaha man ni. Not unless they ask for it. Not unless they ask you nga unsa man what have you been doing ikaw kamurag kita man ako sa imong ma'am nga kaya kaayo nimo ma-handle imong problems, no? So unsa man ang imong ika-suggest sa ako, so pwede ra if they ask for it, but we really have to be very careful about that. And then if there is a risk of self-harm, do not leave them alone. So mingon nagali siya nga unya alas 8 sa gabi. So as much as possible dili sa nato siya biyaan hantud nga ato siyang siguro ang iyang safety, na tawagan na ba nato ang pamilya or sure ba ta nga kanina siya kauban sa balay nga ato ang ma-feedbackan, no? Because ang self-harm kailangan maging nato mapabalo ang ilahang at least immediate family member or ilahang perceived support system nga naani siya at risk siya, dili gid nato siya biyaan.
Yeah. So thank you so much for these tips. Thank you so much for this reminder para sa tanan, no? Because for sure somewhere or in one way or another, nagyot yung mga ma-encounter aning mga tao who's challenged with the mental health. So thank you so much, Miss Ria, for your time and for sharing all these tips. So, na ba kay gusto i-shout out or pasalamatan karon, and your message as well that now we are having or celebrating the mental health or the World Mental Health Month.
Yes, no. So, dako gid kaayo akong pasalamat again sa atong City Government of Cagayan de Oro, sa ato ang Mayor Rolando Clarix Uy, kang Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, and sa ato ang 21st City Council for being very supportive sa ato ang endeavors and initiatives sa paghatag sa ato ang serbisyo nga libre and accessible sa ato ang syudad, sa tanan atong mga fellow Cagayanans, because it's very important, no nga, libre gid siya, because sometimes finances can be a hindrance for asking for help. And man ang tinguha gyud sa ato ang syudad is to provide it free and accessible. So dako kayo ko og pasalamat again sa support sa ato ang syudad, and also to my team, sa ako ang first is sa CSWD, sa among department head, Ma'am Anisha Tongson, very supportive kaayo kung mo share me sa amo ang mga plans and initiatives, and to my team sa psychosocial for being very kaning naay initiative and very responsive sa tanan nato nga mga calls and sa tanan services, no, very passionate sa paghatag og service sa ato ang syudad and sa ato ang callers. And thank you CIO for constantly, no, having us here para sa pag help og raise og awareness sa ato ang services nga gina-provide sa city, and pag-raise og awareness sa mental health. So dako gid kaayo ko og pasalamat, and especially also to our Almighty God, no, for sustaining us and for giving us the strength and the mental space also to listen to other people, and at least to be able to provide the service with all our hearts and with all our strength.
Yeah, so thank you so much again. Of course, you're always welcome to all the advocacies here sa tanan natong mga offices here sa City Hall. Always ginamos lang gina-welcome for the concerns and for, of course, letting people know with all the information that you need. So again, mga igala, for our, of course, I think the psychosocial unit as well will have their observance for the mental health month. So unsa man ato ang angay atangan ani?
Yes, no. So ang ato ang PMHA in partnership with PMHA, or the kaning ato ang PMHA sa Miss Or Philippine Mental Health Association sa Miss Or CDO chapter, they will be holding a blue lighting ceremony. So the psychosocial unit are hoping to also observe that here sa ato ang syudad para pod napakita in solidarity, because also we are very thankful to other partners, no, nga ato ang dali-dali gyud nga matap when we need resources and we need to link and refer, no, sa mga services nga naapoy limitations sa ato like medications and other partnerships. Dako gid kaayo ta og pasalamat also to our partners, including ang PMHA. So that's what we are hoping to observe, ang ato ang kaning blue lighting ceremony sa initiated by PMHA.
Yeah, so let's look forward to that, and we can say that Happy Blue October.
Yes.
So again, mga igala, Happy World Mental Health Month for us here sa Cagayan de Oro City. And again, daghan kaayong salamat to our city psychologist of CSWD Psychosocial Division, Ms. RIO ROSAL Baliling. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, you're always welcome to come back here. And atangin na po next week, mga igala, kung kinsa na po datong makauban sa atong programang Department in Focus. All the information and update is brought to you under the leadership of City Mayor Rolando Clarix Uy, with the support of our City Information Officers, Jade Adiser and Ian Fuentes. Once again, this is Jane Abaday from City Information Office.